Here's what you need to know about me, and I'm sorry that I didn't make this video a lot sooner, or even as my very first video on my YouTube channel, which I definitely should have done. But anyway, here it goes. The things you need to know about me and understand about me is the fact that I have an extreme, severe anger problem, and I tend to, a lot of the times, lash out at people who don't completely 100% agree with me, or even at least slightly, or people who argue with me, or people who try to offer or give me advice, which is not a bad thing, of course, but I don't like the kind of advice that most or many people are giving me pretty much every day, every single time I upload a video. It's not like I don't like advice or don't want advice, but I just hate the advice that people keep on offering or giving me when I just am hella stubborn and just stuck in my ways. And I just straight up refuse to change. But at the same time, I'm being honest. Either way, I'm being honest. And that's really all I think matters. But it could be the reason why I have a severe extreme anger problem, that I was born and raised in a very dysfunctional home and family with two parents who were not ready to get married emotionally and mentally, and also they had way too many kids that they could even handle and take care of emotionally and mentally, but especially financially, which was definitely a huge mistake on their part. But of course, it's far too late now, so there's nothing I can do about it or that they can do about it. And many of their kids that they had together, including myself, have really severe extreme problems and issues with themselves. Like, I have two younger brothers, for example, who both have extreme severe anger problems, just like me. But like, one of my younger brothers will be arguing with my dad like almost every single day. And then my youngest brother, who's 4 years younger than me, my other brother's only 2 years younger, but my youngest brother doesn't just have a extreme severe anger problem, but he's also has been professionally diagnosed as someone who has bipolar disorder, which is really tragic, and it definitely has taken an effect emotionally and mentally on all of us. Obviously, being his family, we're obviously going to be affected by him being probably, if anything, the worst out of all of us. And then I have a bunch of sisters, but my older sisters are all grown up and moved out of the house and whatnot. But I have three younger sisters. My youngest sister was born with floating harbor syndrome, which is also another really tragic thing. And I just know that it has taken a massive toll and effect emotionally and mentally on both my mom and dad. And I feel so bad and sorry for both of them. And then my other two younger sisters are just always at odds, always arguing with each other pretty much in practically every single day. It's insane. And so, in a way, I'm not really that surprised or shocked that I am this way or crazy, which I wouldn't mind it at all if people called me that straight up, or even mentally deranged or unhinged or whatever, because it's not like I would disagree with that. I am. And I also am a very broken, damaged, beyond repair human being. And I honestly don't know if I'll ever be fully or completely the same as I used to be when I was a little kid. And I wish for all of you who will watch this video, I wish you all could see just how different I was when I was a little kid. How happy I was. How glad I usually, for the most part, was. How cheerful I was. And I was just curious. I was adventurous. I was interested and fascinated in many things. One of the biggest things I was mostly and mainly interested and fascinated in as a little kid, from when I was like 3 years old to maybe 12, something like that, I was really obsessed with ancient Egypt and just their mythology, their religion, what they believed in, the movies and whatnot, and just everything and anything that had to do specifically about that. I was just so sucked into it, drawn to it, and I just loved every single bit of it. I couldn't get enough of it. And then when I was 14, my new obsession became hip-hop rap. Thanks to one of my older sisters at the time who had a laptop, who downloaded some of her, well, all of her songs that she had on her laptop onto my iPod. And years ago, when I was 14 in 2011, when I got my first ever electronic, and one of the songs on there was Eminem's song Not Afraid. And immediately upon hearing it and listening to it, I just fell in love. Just full on, totally, completely, 100% fell the fucking love with his music and just what he had to say in that song. And just, I thought it was just so beautiful in just every possible way, and just amazing and dope and awesome and incredible and just out of this world. And I didn't really listen to any other song by him that year, but I may have listened to Spacebound, because Spacebound did come out in 2011. The music video did, even though the song came out on his 2010 album Recovery. But the music video came out pretty much a year after the album did, which I don't really get, but whatever. And at the time, Spacebound was definitely my favorite Eminem song of all time. And then when I was 15 in 2012, 16 in 2013, 17 in 2014, and so on, I started listening to more of his music, specifically his older shit. And I loved it even more, because I think that he definitely was way better and greater when he was younger, in his youth. I mean, regardless, I love him either way in his music and always will, but I definitely prefer his younger, older self more than his newer, older self. And I wish that he would have released a lot more albums in his youth, specifically in his 20s and early 30s, and which is another reason I wish he became famous younger. And speaking of that, I have these ideas and thoughts that are constantly swarming and just ongoing and just racing thoughts all the time, 24/7 in my mind, of these thoughts and ideas of, oh, I wish this movie would have been released this month, this day, and this year. I wish this TV show would have began this month, this day, and this year. And I just have many thoughts like that. And there are many videos like that to come. And, you know, I am definitely a very different human being than most people, I would say, and I definitely am very set apart, very distant, and just kind of strange in a way, because I have different opinions than most people, different point of views, different ideas, different thoughts, different beliefs. And, you know, a lot of people who don't understand me or don't get me or don't feel me or just don't relate to me because they didn't go through what I went through, they tend to lash out against me and hate on me or troll me because they just can't wrap their head around who and what I am and what I'm all about. And so they just simply lash out and hate on me because that's what I mostly put out into the world is hate. So I totally get why I'm hated so much, and most people troll me and just are straight up assholes because they just simply do not get me or understand me or relate to me or resonate with me or probably have anything in common with me for that matter too. And, you know, that's fine. And the other thing that you need to know about me is my videos that I put out there for everyone to see, for all of the public to see, are a true and real, full-on 100% complete representation of who I am and what I am and how I feel, usually and pretty much all the time. Because like I said before, I'm a very broken, damaged, beyond repair human being. I'm just emotionally and mentally constantly 24/7 tormented and tortured. And I've been very deprived and underprivileged, unlike most people in this nation. And, you know, I wish I could have that tea that supposedly helps at least somewhat with stress and anxiety. I forgot the name, and even if I didn't, I don't really know how to pronounce it, so I don't really even want to say it. But I don't have the kind and type of money to afford it, and really, I would love to buy it myself, all on my own, because I really hate the fact that my dad has had to provide for so long for me and my entire family ever since the year 1992. And he hasn't had the same job since, but he's had a few jobs since then. And it just breaks my heart that he's been working his ass off since then. And he's really the only person who's been ever providing for all of us, my whole family, including me. And if he were to lose his job or get fired, we'd literally be living under a bridge right now as I speak. And he will be 57 in December of this year. And it just really hurts me that he has not been able to retire a long time ago, which is one of the many and main reasons why I wish I could have been a famous YouTuber and could have had a $10,000 gaming desktop when I was 16 in 2013 and would have made literally and possibly the best videos, well, gaming videos on YouTube ever. And I also would have done reaction videos. I would have done Q&A videos. I would have done many videos on many things, including movies and TV shows I wish would have been released different months, days, and years, which are not negative videos, but I'm still negative sounding in the videos. And I wish I could have made millions and totally helped my dad out, and both of my parents, honestly, and I wish I could have provided for myself full on and my family. I would have loved more than anything to totally help them out. They've been helping me out this long, and the fact that I can't do the same in return really hurts me. Because my dad really could never get by, even with the job he has. It's like we live on minimum wage because of the amount of kids both of my parents had, which was bad because they had 8 kids in total. And if you're going to have that many kids, if you're going to have more than 4 kids or 4 or more kids, you better make sure you have your own company or own business, own organization, which my dad tragically has never had, even before getting married to my mom. And so, I don't know. And then it also hurts me because I would love more than anything to even at least provide for myself, groceries wise and my wants. But here's the thing. I can only choose one or the other. And so obviously I'm going to buy things I want instead of things I need, like groceries or shoes or more clothes or whatever, because I've been so deprived and so underprivileged for so long, and it's so unfair, so unjust, and it's just has totally torn me apart. It's totally torn me apart. And because I won't be able to make $20 an hour, even if I were to get a job, which I think I am pretty soon here, I will only be able to buy stuff I want, which I feel like is way more important than stuff I need, because stuff I want, I definitely think will help me in the long run become rich. I will use the expensive things I buy to make myself rich in the long run. At least I hope that will happen. Whatever way that may be, I'll figure something out when I get more better stuff. And hopefully I'll also be able to provide for my family so that my dad will be able to retire completely and fully, or maybe have his own business or whatever. And I would love to even have a family of my own someday. I would love to get married, have a beautiful wife and kids. I would love to have that. But I don't even know if something like that will be possible in such a messed up, screwed up generation like this. And you know, to end this video, I will say also that I don't know if I have any mental illness of any sort or kind. I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if I do, but I've never really been professionally diagnosed, and honestly, I don't really want to be, because I feel like if I were, all that would happen is either I would be sent to a mental hospital, or I would be on medication for the rest of my miserable life. And I don't believe in medication, and I'm strongly against it, and I think it's fake, and I think it's full of lies, and I think it's just a way to make those people who make them get rich. Because they don't really care about people. They're strangers. Why would they? And then also, I actually have gotten counseled before a couple times, or maybe even a few times in the past, in my teenagehood, in my teen years, like in my late teens especially, and it's never really helped me. I went to both non-Christian counselors and Christian counselors, and you know, none of them could get, neither of them could get through to me, because I'm very stubborn. I'm stuck in my ways. I refuse to change, because this is how I truly feel. I am just a broken, damaged, beyond repair, torn apart human being, emotionally and mentally. And I just feel like bad every day, and I have the hardest time going to sleep because I can't calm myself down. I can't be at peace. I just can't. It's like impossible for me. And I actually am more calm and at peace throughout the day. But at night, when I'm trying to calm down and literally force myself to calm down, my head is just swarming with rage, hatred, anger, bitterness, hostility, jealousy, envy, and just all of it. All of the emotions that you could possibly ever think of or know, I feel all the time. But they're the worst when I ever go to bed at night. And I toss and turn a lot, and my bed is even broken, and